Welcome to a brand new Filofax video. Today we're going to be making a cover page for 2026, and I thought I would film the process to take you along with me so we can have a little crafting session. Just taking a sip of tea before we begin. Okay, so I'm going to start off by showing you what this year's cover page is. As you can see, it's a laminated double-sided design, and I just like to make a unique one each and every year to kind of capture the essence of where I'm at in that moment in time. And it makes it a lot easier for me to distinguish between Filofaxes when I have taken all the pages out and archived them in binder rings. I've got a kind of collection of pages that are all bound up. So yeah, that's just what I like to do. So I'm going to begin by making the base of the cover page, and to do this I like to use the cover of a magazine because the paper stock is just the right thickness. I prefer to use Rock and Roll Bride for this because they've got the perfect thickness. I often find if I go for anything too glossy, then it's harder to make things stick down, and if I go for anything too thick, it doesn't laminate very nicely. So this is the perfect thickness in my opinion, and I'm just, as you can see, paper clipping it to a divider so I can make sure that the size is right. And now that we've got that, we can begin. I'm going to start by going through my binder of things that I've ripped out and cut out and not used. I tend to save all my little best bits in here that I've spotted and saved from magazines that I'm going to throw away, things I've ripped out of books and stuff, things that I've cut out for other collage pieces and then ended up not using them. I store them all in this binder, and it means that I can actually throw away magazines without ending up hoarding a massive stash, because I can scrapbook off of one magazine for years. So this is just a helpful way to keep moving things through. And all of the paper samples that I'm taking out here are from interior design magazines. I usually go for the ones that Condé Nast publish. They're all really similar to me. I couldn't tell you the title of any of them. They all look the exact fucking same. I don't know, but they always have the most lovely wallpapers and fabrics and textures and details, and I just love it. So I like to treat myself to one of those. I'm gonna go for this face, and I didn't want that 4-leaf clover, but fuck it, we'll take that anyway. And I'm gonna have this chain too. I will say that I'm not normally this decisive when I'm going through my stash. It was just on this particular day I was in the zone, and just flipping through here I found everything that I wanted. I didn't need to trawl any magazines or anything like that. I had a really strong idea of what I wanted to do, so I'm just going to start by layering some textures in the background. That bit of green patterned paper was actually from the inside front cover of a diary that I got a couple of years ago, and when the year was up I ripped out all the nice paper and I've been using it to scrapbook ever since. Yeah, I just like to kind of use these to make interest and texture in the background. You can kind of see what type of a thing I'm going for here. I'm really leaning into quite opulent and rich textures and colours for the background. In fact, the details are as well. We've got crystals here, we've got a Chanel jewellery stack, a serpent, and really, you know, that's a bit of me. Check out this paper die puncher, by the way. Got that for a couple of quid at a charity craft shop in my local area, and I love it. I just love it. I actually got a couple of them, and they have revolutionized my scrapbooking. They really have taken it to a new level. I love these little scalloped ovals. I've started actually punching them out and using them in my Filofax as kind of like pull out note thingies. I'll have to show you when we do the 2026 put together what I mean, but yeah, I've been loving it. I also got some paper stampers and yeah, some rubber stamps and ink pads. I think I got about 7 or 8 stamps and maybe 5 or 6 different coloured inks, and the whole lot cost me 6 quid from the charity shop. I could not believe my luck. I actually can't go to that charity shop very regularly because there's always stuff in there that I can use that I want. I'm in love with it, so I can't go there because there's always something new that I want. This piece that I'm using here is from an interior design magazine, and it was an advert for these crystal lamps. And let me tell you, there is something about a staged interior for print marketing purposes that I have always loved and probably will always love. It reminds me a lot of the Argos catalogue and the Index catalogue, when you would look at the pages where they would have bedding and curtains and home decor and stuff, and they would almost like stage a bedroom that had the matching curtains and bedspread and stuff. And there's something I just love about that. I think in America the closest thing that you would have to that is maybe like a Sears catalogue, where they kind of show the products in situ in a house. I just love it. It really takes me right back to the 90s, when you've got that mood lighting and a really thick carpet and then matching everything. I romanticize it. And I know if you go to like IKEA, you can almost walk around in those staged environments, but it's not quite the same. They're a bit too modern and nice. Do you know what I mean? And criminally enough, I actually covered up most of this crystal lamp image here with something else later on, and I kind of wish I hadn't done that. But also I like how the finished result turned out, so maybe I shouldn't have actually used those crystals anyway. And I've actually chosen to stick down the background at quite an early stage. Normally I wouldn't do that, because I like the freedom to really make sure I know exactly how everything's going to be before I commit to sticking it down. But in this instance, I was filming on my phone, so I couldn't take a photo, a reference photo, to stick it back exactly how it was. So I just thought, don't risk it. Do it while it's still quite fresh in your mind. And we can go from there. Just going to cut out some lovely flowers. I always like to have flowers in my design. Let me just say, this tea that I'm drinking has got oat milk in it. And this oat milk in particular was from M&S because I got caught short and there was nowhere else to get it apart from M&S. I don't like their oat milk. If you wait until later on in the video, it looks weird. And it's the barista one as well, because I think that the texture of the barista oat milk is best. But this one, I'm not sure, guys. I'm really not sure. Okay, so it's pretty obvious now that all of those bits and bobs on the right there, I'm not going to be using those. I have what I need. And to be fair, this design has come together really quickly compared to how long I would normally spend on a cover page. I'm not even kidding. A cover page normally would take me a couple of hours because I'll really be agonizing over this thing, making sure that there's lots of interlocking, overlapping pieces of interest, like detail, almost focal point images. And in this one we've only got a handful of focal point images in here, but later on, it's not shown in this video, but I'll show it at the end in the final result. I actually did go in with one of my rubber stamps and a very, very dark purple. Look at that T, see what I mean? What the fuck is that? I went in with the dark purple ink and a rose stamp and filled in one of the spaces, and then I also went to the range and bought more gem stickers, guys. I can't resist them. I shouldn't be allowed to go to the range. I really shouldn't. When I got home and I looked at what I bought, I just thought, what were you thinking? Why have you done that? You know? But I bought some white roses that you can kind of stick on things. They're like stick-on gems, but they're roses. You'll see at the end. But I just thought, what a perfect excuse to use some brand new stick-on gems. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. What is going on with that tea? Do you know what I mean? If that is barista quality oat milk, then I'm a fucking monkey's uncle. Have a day off, do you know what I mean? That's not... If I went to Starbucks and they gave me that, I wouldn't go to Starbucks, but if I did and they gave me that, I'd be like, you need to check your stock. Anyway, back to the video. Let's put these flowers in. I actually also wished I hadn't trimmed these flowers and that I'd left them overlapping. I decided at the end to kind of do I've never done this before, by the way, a design that overlaps the edges of the card. And at the time of sticking this piece, this moment right now, I am not thinking of that. But later on, I decide that's what I'm going to do. And I wish almost that I'd pushed those flowers right up into that top left-hand corner and had that shape poking out. But hey, we live and we learn, don't we? And what's happening right now is me deciding, shall I cover one of her eyes? I actually wish I'd done that. That looks sick. Yeah, babe, leave it. Don't change it. Don't change it. No. Yeah, and I'm making the bold move to stick her face down. That's a move that I'll later come to regret, and this is foreshadowing. And now we come to the agonizingly long part of me cutting out this piece of chain. Because you really don't want to be slapdash with details like this and then have to look at your own slapdash effort for a whole year, and every time you look at that front cover you're just like, could you not have taken an extra minute or two to make sure you really got this right? Apparently not, babe. Apparently not. So I've chosen in this moment to take the time. Are you working on anything right now while you're watching this? Are you scrapbooking along with me? If you are, pop into the comments, let me know what you're working on. I love it when people use these videos as kind of background chatter for their own junk journaling or scrapbooking or creative project. When people hit the comments and tell me that that really makes my heart sing. I also love it when people come in and they're like, yeah, I've been waiting for this, been waiting ages. It makes me feel like $1 million, honestly. So if you find yourself watching this thinking, wow, I'm so glad that Cownley's back doing Filofax, let me know. Make my day. You've got the power. And look, I wish I'd done this as well. How it is right now, do that. Do that, babe. Don't move it. Don't move it. Keep it how it is. I'm about to move it. Yeah. Oh, look at you moving it. Don't move it. Put it back how it was. Again, Pritt Stick coming into its own, allowing me to slide things around, tuck things under other things, you know. That's what I like best about it. You've almost got maybe a 1 minute grace period after you've stuck something down in which you can slide it around. As long as you haven't applied the glue too thickly, because then you end up with, it leaves a nasty mark on the picture, on the paper. But yeah, and now it's time for me to go and get another cup of tea. And I come back with biscuits. These are the McVitie's gingerbread Christmas biscuits, and I'm about to eat one. I saved my reaction for you so that you could hear it. Get ready. God damn. Holy fuck. Yeah, that's a damn good biscuit. But I will say, don't be tempted. If you like gingerbread or you like a gingery biscuit for autumn and for winter time, I'm not confident actually that the McVitie's gingerbread biscuit is the one, because once moistened it loses its structural integrity and therefore is only really good for one dip. And if you're holding it in there for longer than 2 seconds, you better be prepared to lose half your fucking biscuit into the depths of your mug. Okay, there is no structural integrity to a McVitie's gingerbread biscuit. If you want my advice, go for a ginger nut, babe. Go for a ginger nut instead. Or go for like Pfeffernuss or Lebkuchen and don't dip it. Look, this is me look, oh babe, you are asking for it there. Peeling that off, that had the potential to go very wrong because the Pritt Stick softens the paper and can really easily tear it if you fuck about like I just did. But I live for the Chanel bracelet stacks. Whenever I find one of these in a magazine, you best believe I'm saving that. I'm saving it for best. We're talking phone cases, Kindle cases, and Filofax cover pages. I save all the Chanel pearl strings and bracelet stacks for best. So this second scalloped oval that I have here, I might save that for my new phone case. I'm getting a new phone, I'm going to buy a new clear case, and I reckon I'm going to use that in there because I love the way that looks. Like the quilted gold bit with the pearl stack, and I love it. I'm not a big fan of Chanel overall, but those for images, yes. And this little PVC trench coat that I saved from an H&M print advert, I've had that for a long time, and now I've been able to cut that out and use it in this design here. Little flash of leg. I like to mix high and low elements. Go on, add the little 4-leaf clover, you know you want to. Yeah. That's been hanging around for ages, so I'm glad it's finally got a home. Okay, so this is the front sorted, and now we're going to cover the back. And I tend to use one cohesive image for the back, or wrapping paper, or just one overall print, because I rarely look at it. So for this design, I'm going to be using a piece of gift wrap that I picked up at the V&A. I went a couple of weeks ago, I think it was last week. I took a Friday afternoon off because my husband was off for the day and it made me a bit jealous. So I came in for the morning, got all my bits done, took the afternoon off and just went for a jolly around the V&A. At the moment they've got Marie Antoinette exhibit and a Cartier exhibit, which they're probably going to rethink after the Louvre jewellery heist, which happened recently at the time of recording, but by the time this video goes live it'll probably be old news. But yeah, I always like to hit up the gift shop at places like that. They have fabulous things. I'm a big William Morris fan and they have so much of his stuff in there, and it was a real fight not to get a strawberry thief printed tea towel. Oh, don't mind me. Just got a notification. I'm not going to edit this, so what you hear is what you get, babe. Yeah, and I'm just neatly cutting around this, taking my time. I'm going to jump cut in a minute because me going around that scalloped edge, you don't need to sit there and see that, babe. You really don't. Or maybe I didn't jump cut and I am actually going to make you watch it. Hope you enjoy. You like that? Go on, jump cut. It's been a while since I edited this, so I can't remember how I've done it. There we go. Just getting in there, digging out those little bits of paper. Making sure it just looks really sharp for lamination. Here it is front, here it is back. And now I'm gonna nip off and laminate that little sucker. And here she is. And here's my stick-on rose that I've added, 3D on the outside, and that's my stamper that I've put in there in dark purple. It's quite understated, but it fills the space nicely. And then on the back, I've done an Art Nouveau stamp with my initials. I have an Art Nouveau frame stamper, and then I managed to get some Art Nouveau letters as well. So I've just put my initials into the frame. Hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned because soon we're going to be putting together 2026.